he's trying to move down here so we can grow. We can do, we're going to get bigger. And he's the VP of marketing for my company. He needs a place though. He needs a place to be down here. And he said, well, as soon as the other guy moves out, he can move in. So then they called me yesterday and tell me that the lease is ready for me to sign it and that I can move in on May 16th. And we didn't have a place. Like we didn't even have a place to go. So we went down there last month looking for a place and we couldn't find anything. And then this time, he just called out of nowhere and was like, hey.
You guys got the link to work properly? Yeah. Because everybody is. John is not. I'm just trying to get John on.
Says it's not well, mine says it's not responding, but it could just be my computer. It's been acting up lately.
Greg, how are you?
Hey, doing well. How's everybody doing?
We're doing all right. I think Trey's on the call, but he's not. He's probably teeing off as we speak. So I think he's having the best seat of the day.
Yeah, he asked me to come on here to watch you, Nick, to see, make sure everything goes okay for you, man. I'm just here I'm in like a support function.
The support just in case anything goes wrong, right?
I'm just kidding.
So what? Trey threw you under the water?
Because I think it's my computer.
Actually, you should be able to click on, if we can hear you, you probably just have a camera thing. You just got to click the camera. Maybe.
I remember this started as a lunch show. Very few times I've actually seen people eating at the show.
It's very few times it's the same.
Yeah.
What do you got there? Grated cheese?
No, I'm just pouring down sugar into the sugar mason jar.
Oh, okay. All right.
Well, you're always cooking when we're on.
It's just at midday, and I'm fasting, so it's like lunch becomes very needed.
Here it's like 6 p.m. So it's either dinner before or after. I'd always do dinner before or after the call.
I'm prepping up some strip loins and some veggies.
So Juan, if you're fasting, what are you doing now? Are you just torturing yourself to get there?
Get it geared up for tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I do the intermittent fasting or time restricted feeding, however you want to call it. And the last thing I need right now is to be, prepping food.
No, I can't go more than 4 hours in that, 4 or 6 hours, and then something needs to happen.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I haven't done those 24-hour cycles. No, man, that's crazy.
Well, no, some of them it depends. There's a lot of different ways to do it. Some people say, was it 12 and 12 or 16 and 8? I think I kind of hit my stride with 20 and 4. That works well, but it all depends on the person, though.
Like a full 20 hours of not eating?
Yeah, so I'll go 20. Basically, I skip breakfast and lunch every day. I'm monitoring all of my strength-based stuff too to make sure I'm not losing muscle mass, but it's actually easier for me than anything else I've ever tried because I don't have to do a lot of prep. I simply just don't pack myself a lunch and I skip breakfast and that's that. And then I get home and I don't have to worry about, okay, what are my macros at? What's this at? What's that at? It's, hey, I'm going to eat dinner. I usually have 2-3. I mean, I still hit probably 2,500 calories a day. I mean, I'm not really restricting a ton of calories.
But you think by stopping for those first 2 meals, that causes more burn, that kind of stuff?
There's a lot of sign. For me, it's just the convenience of it. And it's something that I could stick with a little bit easier.
So once you get home, is it free range, or do you still kind of watch what you have?
I mean, I try and eat. I've always tried to be, healthy. Shop around the outside of the grocery store, so to speak. But
don't shop when you're hungry.
Yeah.
That's what I've always heard.
On my first trip to the U.S., with a job in California, I gained like 75, 50 to 60 pounds in 3 months.
Oh,
Yeah.
that takes
Yeah,
some work.
and ever since I've just been, slowly coming down from that. No, it actually doesn't. Put someone that's not used to the U.S. food in a hotel with buffet. There you go. And I was in that building. I used to weigh 50 kilos, which is somewhere around 100 pounds. And I always wanted to get big, and I did exercise and whey protein and all that. Never worked, man. Never. It's just not my metabolism. I would eat five times a day. And I went to the U.S. and started kicking those sausage patties and all the pancakes, and that was it. That's what I needed. And ever since, I've just been fighting to keep it in control.
That's funny.
Okay, guys. What I'm gonna do, right? Like, there's a couple of guys on I think on YouTube, who are on YouTube there as well. I'm flicking between the two. I know that Diane's supposed to come on because she actually sent me for today a playlist of 90s tunes.
Ooh.
So she was like, I'm gonna come if you're gonna play this. So like, she sent me that earlier on. So I need to play them when she jumps on. She's probably doing something with the kids. But what I'll do is I'll make a formal introduction, like for everyone on YouTube and wherever you're listening from. Today's powered by Lean Solutions. So like Trey asked me to do this. Great, done it before. We'll do it again. He always puts me on the spot, so that's great when he can play golf. Every time that he asked me, he's actually played golf. So that's
Fridays, man.
It's the
I never get invited to the golf stuff, man. I never played golf. I'm sad about that, bro. Never in my life.
Man, here, especially here in Scotland, like it's I would say heaven for golf. Although I would love to play Pebble Beach and stuff like that, like come over that side. But yeah, that's the difference. So what I'm going to do as well, right? So there's a couple of things. So
yes, sir.
The one thing that Trail was as well as the Black History Month, right? So I actually we were talking about this, and I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to see if there's a link between Black History Month for the US and Scotland. One thing that we don't like in Scotland, we don't have a lot of like it's a quite white.
Waiting for the guy, but I'm going to send him your.
I would say country sense, right? Like it's the Highlands and everything. But funnily enough,
his name is
I found out that Eugene Bullard actually US's first combat pilot
truck number and all that
was an Afro-American, and he actually fled after the war. He fled to Scotland to get away from racism.
Number on the Barton brands.
So that was the only link I found.
016. That should get it right.
One of the only links
in Scotland.
Okay.
And I know Robert just getting rolling.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, when he will be there.
It's only like our culture here in Colombia is very mixed.
Nice, they're open 20.
So
yep, he's gonna go to one.
We were conquered by the Spaniards, and then the Spaniards got involved with the indigenous people, and then came out the Criollos, which are the Colombian, original bloodline. And of course, with the Spaniards came African slaves.
Thank you so much.
So it's all a big mix.
Hope everybody's okay.
It's something that's I guess it's melded into our culture so very well that like Black History Month for us is like everything is related to it, because we were just an oppressed how do you call it, country by Spaniards, because they didn't like the difference between the Spaniard armies that invaded the world and the British armies that invaded the world is that the Spaniard crown didn't have the money that the British crown did. So what they did is they grabbed all their people they were in jail, all the rapists, all the killers, all those stealers, all those people, and they put them on a uniform and on a boat. And in that time, if you made it to the other side of the puddle, it was actually like, oh, you made it. Like most of them went underwater and died, or famined on the process, or something happened. So we were conquered basically by criminals. Gotta put it out there.
I was run the. I think you're a mute.
Rhonda's on mute.
Is it? She inherited this kind of technical problems from Hold My Beer, so migrated over. And so what we'll do, right, as well, like
Yes.
everybody with the like, how is everything with masks? And because I know Texas is like, okay, that's a different ball game, right? Here in the UK right now, we've got this new system. We're moving every 5 weeks. We're moving one tier down, and I think there's since the start we've had the least deaths, COVID deaths, since the start. So that's why now we're moving every 5 weeks. We're moving back one tier down. So here the restaurants just opened up again, luckily. So how's everywhere else? Like, is everybody wearing masks? Everybody like masks, no masks?
They gave us some new guidelines for if you're vaccinated or not, which was I saw an infographic for it, and it was just the confidence in people being able to understand things was so low that like it literally a second grader could have looked at it and been like, oh, okay, now I get there's a picture of a person with a mask, there's a picture and it's green, and there's a red picture of a person with a mask. So but yeah, I mean, did
you see Biden coming up with his speech?
Yeah, if you go to a conference outside, you should wear a mask at conferences. He misspoke in part of it. But
what's Juan doing? Can you hear me now?
Yes. How are you?
Good. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry I haven't been on. It's been crazy, but a weight was lifted recently, so I'm good.
You're all good again?
Yeah, it's been crazy.
It's great seeing you again. It's been a while.
Erin knows I have a weekly chit chat with her. Oh, speaking of which, there she is.
Speaking of the devil.
Yeah, we had some big projects in the pipeline. Hi.
Hi.
And so yesterday was a big end to a project that really was taking a lot of my time. So anyway, yeah.
Hi, Rhonda.
Hi. Rob, how you doing?
Good.
I was thinking of you the other day. I was doing my little hike at Lookout Mountain.
Oh man, it's beautiful. I like your keep your pictures coming. We love seeing you and your husband on the hikes, and I really liked seeing you in the winter when you had to bundle up a little bit, because being from Chicago, we don't always want to see you with your shorts and everything else down there. So I like when you were a little chilly. That was good.
Yeah.
I felt a little better
Makes
about
us
that.
Northerners jealous.
Yeah.
Well, here in Scotland, we've got like, I'm jealous no matter what pictures come up. So for us, it's like, it's not too bad. Well, it's not. We get 4 seasons in one day. That's Scottish weather. So our summer is like, I don't know what's it. So we'll probably get like 20 degrees. What's that in? Is that 90 or?
Maybe 80.
No.
Ish. That's like 83-ish.
83-ish?
Yeah.
I don't do the conversion.
20 is cold, man. 20 is cold.
68.
68 degrees.
Okay, so that's our summer, right?
Wow.
That's
No wonder you're all pasty and white.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no way to get a suntan.
Don't hold back.
To be honest, I think I lost. You know how to do these kind of like these adverts for like clean teeth whitening. I could do that from like moving to Scotland. My skin tone is probably like faded. At some point it will go see through here. That's blue. How do you like your steak? Blue. That's what it gets here. So.
You'll probably start glowing at the beach, man, like a reflector.
Exactly.
The beach is all rock there by you?
No, to be honest, we actually have some really beautiful beaches, but you just don't. Yeah, well, you walk your dogs there. That's kind of about it. No, we got some really beautiful beaches. And when you do get one here, it's like when you get like, say, 50, 40, 45, 50 degrees, people are in shorts and flip flops. That's it, right? Like the sun, if the sun is out, that's it. So it's,
What's Juan doing?
I am prepping up lunch. I was telling.
Okay, I was like, is he getting steps in?
Juan, show your steaks.
I already unwrapped them because I had them there, seasoning up. I'm about to start the chop.
Talking about food, Rhonda, have you and Nathan spoken yet? Because like after that picture you put up, Nathan, about your vending machines.
Oh yeah, I went vegan this month, so I feel great. Yeah, I have to talk to him about that. We did a whole, about 2 years ago, took all the crap out of the vending machines here. And it's a self kiosk, and we have little freezers and things of that nature with like eggs and salads. And, there are a couple treats in there, but trying to practice what we preach, it's costly. And
can you get a Three Musketeers in there?
Yes, you can.
All right.
So you got to do your 3 miles, Robert.
Where were you hiking on Lookout Mountain?
I have no idea what the name of the trail is. Just all over.
Okay. I live in Cloudland Canyon National Forest on Lookout.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to talk to you about it, but then you said
probably
you're vegan,
ran
and
by
I'm
your
kind of a
house.
steak guy, so I'm good.
No, but my
come
husband
over,
eats. No, my husband eats steak every night. I've been listening to a lot of research on healthy eating, healthy lifestyles, and like meat should be more of like a delicacy for our overall well-being,
Right.
according to more recent research, particularly having to do with dementia and things of that nature. So I'm, just doing a little self-experiment. But I love a good burger and chicken and fish, but just see, if I notice any difference, because I was not feeling so good over the past couple months. So switching it up, see what works. But we should.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, especially after the pictures that Rhonda put up, I'm going to do a poll. Try and put a couple of polls in. I was like, just throw them in. I'll just, put them out. But one of them is holidays, right? Vacations. And to me, like, I don't know how it is there. Like, we're not allowed to travel abroad still from, I think it's July or August. So I'm going to launch a poll and see what you guys are thinking about, like summer holidays. And you call it vacations or holidays?
You don't have it so we can vote yet, Nick.
Yeah.
Yes, we are going on vacations this year. Hell yeah.
It says hosted
Yes.
panelists.
Yeah, you need
cannot
the
vote.
third option for hell yes.
What did you say, Justin?
I will fly. I want to.
We still can't vote.
Yes.
Voting is not enabled yet.
Oh, that's great. I thought it was all able.
I heard that
Okay,
crack
vote.
about hold my beer. So here you go. It's payback. Karma.
No. I was actually thinking of traveling to Miami and getting the vax. It's about time.
Nathan, what street are you on? Was that?
Damn mute button. So if you go down Scenic Highway, you know where Canyon Grill is?
Yeah.
And where the hang gliding is?
Yeah.
I'm halfway between. On the backside, there's a big, huge wrought iron gate called Cloudland at Lookout. I'm in there.
Ah, nice.
It's I like it. We're in the middle of the park, and every lot, like the smallest lot in the neighborhood is 5.2 acres, and it's in the middle of the forest, and it's the whole neighborhood has 12 homes, so it's perfect.
That's wonderful.
That sounds lovely.
Are you near here?
Not right close by, but I travel frequently.
Okay.
Nick, are you working on it?
I'm trying to work on it. It's this is great when you get put on the spot. Like now I know what you guys always felt, Rhonda.
while he's working on it, I'll do a verbal poll. Does anybody use YouTube TV?
I do not.
Oh, is that a thing?
So I use YouTube TV. It's fantastic. I mean, it's got all my local channels too. And
Right.
now they're in a fight with Roku. And if you have, they can't get to an agreement. And so currently I use Roku's for all my TVs, and they're going to drop YouTube TV if they don't get to an agreement. So should be pretty cool when I have to go buy all new stuff.
Right.
Okay, so this is I can't seem to get everybody.
So why don't you just say, are you guys going to take a vacation?
Yeah, let's just group it.
Exactly. Let's
hiding.
Let's do it this way,
Yeah.
right?
Let's do it verbal, man.
I'm doing it verbal. That's it.
Do it live.
I know exactly. What is Trey? I should have read these questions before I actually start reading them out. Do you typically take a summer vacation? Yes or no? So who did do the poll? Because one person did do the poll. Was someone able to?
I did.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I
Eric,
stamped
you
through
did.
it. I didn't know if it actually went through.
I did. I got 3 different boxes, I think. Man, I got trying to get one of them to work.
It says on it here, host and panelists cannot vote. Nick, that's what's going on my screen.
Okay, so Trey, whenever he will listen back to his recording.
Somebody called.
So
He needs to fix it.
have people booked vacations yet? Like for this year, is it old still? Yeah. Greg, where are you going?
Yeah, we've got a family vacation with my wife's family down at Indiana Beach. And so we booked that a year out in advance. Like when we finish the 1 year, we go to the office and we book the next year. And then so we had that booked last year, and then we're doing not as big of vacations this year. Like we usually try and get somewhere to fly out. Like we took my wife's got family in Vegas, so we flew the kids to Vegas, 2 years ago, and that was fun. We're still doing sort of driving this year, and then we're already starting. My wife loves to travel. I could take it or leave it, but she loves to, so I love to. And we're looking at like some big vacation next year, one of the big ones for the kids, like possibly one of the Disneys, or possibly going to Hawaii, something huge where we can say, look, we haven't really done anything big the last 2 years. Let's go big next year.
Anybody like going further afield away from?
I'm going to Montana in a couple of days. We've got property there, and so this isn't much of a vacation. I'm meeting my brothers there just to work on the property, do some cleanup, fix up, but it's still nice to be out there.
You're getting your hands dirty then, Justin? You're doing the work?
We will be dirty the whole time. Yep. And it'll be a lot of work.
Cowboys.
That sounds fun, actually.
I go to Cancun just about every year, the week of Labor Day, and I come back the next week. That's my strategic week because that's when kids start school and there's not as many kids there. And then we go again in March before spring break starts, and we go to the same place. We go to the same resort every time. We love it there, so that's where we go.
Nice.
Guys, doing summer or winter? Who's doing like the winter the winter vacations, like snowboarding? Or
I did that last year and it ended up very bad.
So that was a one-off.
Share what happened.
Well, I got COVID on the plane, and then I spent the next 15 days in a hotel locked up. Window was sealed and everything. So I was like, yeah, there go my winter vacations. I did go ice skating. I fell. I almost broke my ass, and that's it. Didn't go as well. Some of my friends got married and went to like all over the world, all over Europe, Florida, all over the place. They didn't get sick. And I go to one place for ice skating, and that's it.
I like beer and bourbon, so my body's not really set up genetically for snowboarding and skiing and stuff. So I try and not do that.
Oh, God bless you.
You guys got to come down here. Perfect weather for whiskey.
Yeah.
You have
Where's
good
everybody?
beaches,
Where's
Juan?
everybody at? Let's say where's everybody from? Like
Texas.
I'm from Chattanooga,
Chicagoland.
Tennessee.
Okay,
Birmingham.
Pittsburgh.
Chicago.
I'm
I went to
from
Chicago
America,
twice
Colombia.
this winter, and it was sucked both times.
Yeah, it's cold.
And they make jackets for cold weather, and then they make jackets for Chicago. You gotta have your own
Right.
jacket.
Hmm.
Hey, on a side note, speaking of Chattanooga, that freight waves thing, on here, I guess, I'm sorry, I've been traveling and slammed with work, but remember, I guess 3 or 4 weeks ago, I talked about the hotel situation for Chattanooga for F3 for freight waves. Apparently, I got the point across to a few people because I've talked to Brent Orsuga called me, and I've had about three other calls and helped them book hotels. The good hotels
they're gonna be
are
tight.
getting very, very, very tight, very, very, very quick. And the rates are starting to skyrocket. So if you want to come, I would suggest booking it sooner rather than later. Because it's
good.
kind of going crazy.
Hey, did
like
you
I
guys?
said,
I don't know if anybody.
Trey and I were talking about doing a meet and greet or something the Sunday night before it starts, and randomly playing golf before if anybody's interested. So
That sounds about fun.
If anybody needs any help with the F3, like booking or any help at all with flights, there's secrets about flying into Chattanooga. Just let me know. I'll help any way I can.
So I'm signed up. I'm going, and I noticed when they first put this up on the boards when they first posted it, and I'm wondering if anybody else noticed this. They had posted on there must be vaccinated to attend. Right. And I've just looked more recently, and I don't see that verbiage on there anymore. So I think they've backed off that. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Because I think for the people that are concerned and booked because it was going to be vaccine enforced, now that they're not, if you feel uncomfortable.
Here they started with live events. You need to have.
It's a private event, so they could do that if they wanted to, but they don't want to offend people, I'm sure.
It's a negative test that you need to have, like proof of negative test that they do here at live events that they started doing, sports events. And the only thing for us, and I don't know how it is, of course you guys can travel internally, but the only way for me to take it right now is when we fly over, you probably enforce you to have the vaccine before you fly out. Is that everybody taking the vaccine?
Yeah,
I've got both of them.
I got both.
I've got my second shot on Monday.
Me too.
And I've heard that you feel terrible after it, so I'm really excited.
Tons of water.
You didn't feel anything?
Tons of water.
Okay. The state of
And
Tennessee.
Tylenol, I heard.
The state of Tennessee and the county of Hamilton County, where Chattanooga is, the mask restrictions were lifted on the 28th, I believe. And then the new mayor for Chattanooga went into office on the 19th, and he immediately lifted it. I was going to ask a real quick question. If anybody has any feedback, I just feel like long term, we're going to have some kind of something on our driver's license or a card or something saying that we're vaccinated, because I really feel like there's a lot of people that don't wear a mask and say they're vaccinated. And I don't look, I don't, I've seen the pictures you post on Facebook. You're not skinny and you're not pretty, so don't try and make it. So don't tell me you're vaccinated if you're not. Just don't lie, it's just be honest. You're either vaccinated or you're not.
I think he was talking to me.
Oh, you're very pretty.
Well, Nathan, I know it's like that's an interesting one, but Pfizer's already coming out with
it's a tough one. It's a tough call, because can you make people do it? I mean, it's gonna be hard.
Right.
26% of U.S. population have both vaccines already, and I think 44% have the first one, something like that. But there's always going to be 28% probably, or 22% that say that's not for me, and you can't make me do it.
And they don't want that 5G microchip put in their shoulder.
I saw that clip where the guy
Yeah.
was saying, is there any tracking device?
Yeah.
And the guy started laughing, and he's like, I'm sorry, I had to compose myself. As far as I know, there's no tracking device.
To be honest, you've got your phone, right? You know exactly what you're up to anyway.
Right.
Like, every time we're speaking about something on dinner and the phone is somewhere in the room, and I go on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and all of a sudden, like, we looked at, the other day we were talking about potentially buying a new car. Every single advert thereafter was the car that we were talking about. So, chip or no chip, that's in your phone.
Yeah.
We did cat food here in the office. Every 30 minutes we had a timer go off and someone had to talk about cat food. And literally within a week, every single person's phone had every ad for every cat food. It was hilarious. We just did it to try it out and it worked.
I heard some of the anti-vaccine people were saying, this is a big ploy. They just want to get all our information. Everybody, they want to have all this. And somebody commented back, wait till they hear about driver's licenses.
Yeah.
They got all our information,
Okay, so guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a couple of pictures of this week, right? So one of the main reasons, unfortunately, I won't be there at F3, although some of the guys will be there. But I will share the first picture. Main reason why I won't be there is this reason.
Uh-oh.
Number 2.
Oh, congratulations, Nick.
Awesome.
You heard it here live first, right? So that's the main reason I won't be there, because it's November. So I don't think I can pull that one off. So some of the guys from
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you, guys. We have our scan tomorrow, and know the gender tomorrow. So I come from a family of all boys, so I don't know if it's a boy, but it's 7 boys in my family. So the chances are against my wife in that sense. But other big stories. One of the big ones I would say is driver shortages, right? Like this is it's just getting ridiculous right now. And if you see the rates, what they're getting right now, and like how is everybody feeling about that? And how have you guys? Because I've been trying to pull a couple of favors left and right, but that's going nowhere.
That's all I do. I work with trucking companies in the hiring aspect of things. And even before COVID, they were always scrambling for drivers. And right now, they're just dying. They cannot find enough people. I've had the discussion with them multiple times, and I've said it on this show before, that I'm not convinced there's a driver shortage. There's a pay shortage. If you pay people enough, there will be drivers. Now, that doesn't always make sense economically for a company, but they're getting paid somewhere. People are getting paid somewhere. So if you pay drivers enough, and I've seen several companies that have started bumping up their rates to coerce drivers to come to them, but it's just a tight market. Way more people went into the trucking industry when it was deemed essential, and a lot of other places weren't essential anymore. So not only did you have a bunch of people flow in, you had a bunch of people who either hadn't driven for a long time or who had never driven before start going to driving classes because they figured that was going to be a safe environment. They were, that was an essential job. So you had a bunch of people come in, but you had a bunch more injuries, a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing. So it made for a crazy market, and we're still in the middle of it. My biggest clients, probably my 3 biggest clients are trucking companies. So I hear it constantly.
Don't you think it's almost like now as long as you have a license, that's it?
If you've got a pulse,
yeah, and you can take a seat and hold the steering wheel.
Yep.
We had a meeting about it a couple weeks ago, and I did a little small presentation on my feelings about it. Nick, we've spoken before. We have a substantial number of trucks here at Tranco, about 380 rolling units. And there's a couple things at play. Number one every radius of a trucking company only has so many drivers in that selected radius. If you go to a restaurant and you have a bad time, you're going to tell everybody, right? If you go to a restaurant and have a good time, you're not going to tell anybody. That's the old marketing adage, right? Well, if one person has a bad time, they're going to tell every driver they know that it's terrible. If a trucking company, which they're all doing right now, have a constant driving hiring campaign going, that tells drivers one thing: they either treat their drivers like crap or they don't pay enough. Because why would you consistently have to market? But the other thing I looked at is the average age of the management of the driver. And I think one of the hardest things to do in driving, and Justin, like you mentioned, you said you deal with a lot of trucking companies, and you can see it in the age brackets. And one thing that I struggle with is the age of the management of the driver. A lot of people are drivers and they'll get promoted into a management of a driver. Automatically, they feel this sense of empowerment and they talk down to people. And it doesn't work like that. You have to treat, managers don't produce revenue for a trucking company. Right. Drivers produce revenue. Without the driver, you have nothing. The only thing without a time clock is the actual truck. The driver has a time clock, but the truck doesn't. It can run 24 hours. You just have to find people that you can treat well, you can trust, and let them do it. But I really feel like a lot of people are pushed into management because they feel like they're going to be great at it. But, maybe back in the day, their manager was, nicest way to say it, a complete asshole to them. So they feel like they should be an asshole to their employees. And it just doesn't work that way.
Right.
Not a good recipe.
Exactly. Dan, I thought you weren't going to come on anymore. So the polls are not working, right? So the polls are not working. I need to speak to Trey about it. But this, especially for you coming on, Dan, I'll play this one for a second.
Let's hear it.
You remember this one?
Hiya, Bobby.
Hi, Ken. Oh my God.
Oh my God, no, Nick, come on.
I thought that was the right introduction for you coming on.
I sent him a list of songs from the 90s. Listen, you have to play. But I'm sorry, I got super distracted. And I was on last week, but I don't think Trey noticed me, so he didn't make me a panelist. So
he didn't know, like the playlist that you send over. That's like that's on repeat here all the time. So that's like it's like you sent my playlist over. It's like, oh, that's great, it's fine. So wait, what I'm going to do is another big story this week, right? Mm-hmm. So I'll share my screen, and I'd love to hear what you guys think about this.
Oh, right? Yeah, I saw that.
So and this is big news even here in Scotland, of course. So this is like popcorn news, right? Everybody's like love hearing about stuff like this. So what is your opinion about Caitlyn Jenner's like recall campaign?
What do you mean recall campaign? What happened? I'm completely unaware of what's going on with that.
I heard she was running for governor, but I didn't hear about it. I don't know what that recall campaign means.
Yeah, I didn't hear that part.
Well, so she's focusing again on the recall campaign. So what happened?
Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, remember with all the signatures? It was more fraudulent signature. It's just like from what we see here in the news, and I don't know if everything what we see here is the same, but there's the amount of signatures of the recall. And this is then getting me to the next thing. If we're going to go for a full recall, Uncle Eddie has mentioned that he's considering running for governor.
Randy Quaid.
So my question
is he still up in Canada?
I thought he was.
I think he
wouldn't be a worse governor than Gavin Newsom, but
so that's the question. What's next? Who's next? Because is this an invitation for every celebrity to open up and knock on the door? Okay, I will give it a shot.
They can do whatever they want as long as it's in California.
Right.
Yeah,
it's gonna be the entire lineup of Kardashians and Jenners just fighting for that governor's position.
Well, what's the reason behind it? Because it's always California. Why? It's always the celebrities that are going after California in that sense.
I don't know.
It must be the air. Or lack thereof.
The lack of it.
Too much smog. Brain function.
I mean, what they can't. We talked about the Chicago winters. If you got the means, why would you live in Chicago when you can live in San Diego? So maybe, or Los Angeles. Maybe that's it.
Maybe
Where
too
they
many
live.
parties in LSD.
I love Chicago.
Oh, me too. But not everybody can handle the winters.
No,
Man, I prefer the winters. I can't handle the heat.
Where are you
I
at,
don't
Greg?
like it. I don't like it.
What was that?
Greg, are you in Chicago?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know where that. I live right near Midway Airport, but I
nice.
grew up in the northwest suburbs, Crystal Lake.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So this will be the thing for us. Like, so we should be. So as Cy was 21, we should come over, and I think it will be the end of July. But at that point, we just need to see where we're all going to strand. Because of course, I'm not going to be there at F3 when everybody else is. That the first major in-person event?
I'm not going either, Nick.
For transportation, it is, I think. But I mean, there's coming out of the trade show industry that I did. I worked for GES for 12 years. They are starting to have trade shows now. Las Vegas is going to have a really big one called World of Concrete in June, which is huge. It just depends on the state. There are some shows that are starting to pick up, and there are some in Arizona. A few, Florida. The cities that are really the states that are really having are Florida, Nevada, Indiana's having some.
Tennessee's having
Atlanta, some. Tennessee. Yeah, but I mean, Chicago, which is normally packed with shows, is dead in the water right now.
Nice weekend.
If you haven't been to World of Concrete, it's always randomly the same week as the Adult Video Awards. It's just a fun city to walk around.
Yeah.
Saying.
Nice.
No.
Oh, nice.
That sounds exciting.
Well, I like seeing them without makeup because damn, they're ugly.
So Henderson, Nevada is the second biggest city in Nevada. It's basically the suburb of Las Vegas, just to the south.
Oh, it almost connects.
My sister is running. They do connect now. When I was growing up, I mean, you left Henderson and Vegas after a few minutes. Anymore, you just kind of decide that you've left and you're now in Vegas. But my sister is running for mayor of Henderson, so pretty much by next year.
What's her last name?
Romero, Michelle Romero.
Okay. My sister lives in Vegas, and she works for the Golden Knights, and they just put up another rink there in Henderson for their whatever you want to call it, the AAA or the AHL or whatever. The Silver Knights, I think they are.
They are. I've already told her that when she wins, I want some serious nepotism going on. I want tickets to Raiders games. I want some of the Golden Knights games.
Okay. She'll hook you up.
I always stay at that Wynn right next to their arena. That Italian market downstairs is one of the best places to eat I've ever been.
Right.
Mr. Jolie.
What up? How's it going?
We actually didn't
Look
have
who's here.
Nobody
had to call him this time, huh? You see?
Did anybody do?
No. Usually it's Robert Bain who just blows me up if I'm a minute late. But it looks like Bain's not here, and Trey, I see Trey just as fictitiously here. He logged in, so it looks like he's doing some, but he's actually golfing.
He's I don't know which don't know where he is. He's probably like
whatever, Chris Jolly. I'm right here. I'm right here.
He just stepped in.
Don't ever wonder where I'm at. I'm right here.
He just happened to
always watching.
He just happened to be held up at a tee box.
That's called Big Brother is watching you.
I know.
Trey, we've
I know where you are, Chris Jolly.
Difficulties going on trying to get the polls up. So now I know what the guys that hold my beer kind of feel. So I was talking to Rob. So apparently nobody.
Well, you got to click on there's a little button that allows the panelists to participate. Did you see that? So when you click on the poll and you're about to start it, lower left-hand corner, you have to let the panelists participate. But you know what? That's okay. That's job security for me. So keep messing it up.
Exactly. I kind of screwed it. So you can get the readings back next week.
And Trey, he also did not sing along with the '90s song like you sing along with the some of the rap stuff or whatever.
Well, to be honest, it wasn't
Nick's just feeling a little
Barbie Girl
hesitant,
this time,
a little
actually.
concerned. Well, I don't know what the playlist is this week. What do you guys listen to?
Well, I had Barbie Girl from Aqua.
Barbie Girl, bro. Barbie Girl.
We had that one coming up for especially for Diane coming on.
You didn't. I'm surprised you didn't put some European dubstep up there, Nick. Come on, man.
To be honest,
some Swiss club music or something.
Oh, so this is the kind of I will put one
polka.
This is the kind of this is. You mean this?
Yeah, there we go. Now we're talking.
Yeah, that's probably like from my late teens till mid 20s is. Yeah, so if I don't hear anything, it's because of that.
How old's your son, Nick? How old's your son? Yeah, so it was from your late teens.
Yes, you missed the news. You missed
I
the
could
news.
I could hit a hammer against a metal bowl and it would sound exactly the same.
That's what my dad always used to say when we used to listen to that in the car. Yeah, I was like, "That's not
Trey,
me."
what'd you shoot, or what are you shooting?
Well, we're 1 under through 1 because of this guy right here, Brian Rogers.
Our slogan is, if it's not Scottish, it's crap.
I love that. It's crap.
What's the news, Rhonda?
Nick, tell him your news.
Oh, my big news?
Yeah, I said he missed the news.
So the news, like we were talking about F3, Jolyon, the reason why I won't be attending, and that was the news.
Ah, congrats.
So we've got tomorrow, we're going to find out if it's a boy or a girl.
Yeah. Congratulations, man.
Oh, nice.
It's
I
twins.
believe there is.
It's twins. Don't you put that evil on him, Diana.
If it's twins.
Yes, Diana, just because you have 18 kids doesn't mean everybody else wants that many.
One of the guys in the
Hey,
call
man,
was talking
you
about
know
trash
what?
about me not being there, so I had to jump
At
on real
least-
quick and be like, I'm right there.
We hear you.
Hey, Trey, you didn't mute
Trey.
yourself, bud.
Yeah, we hear you, Trey.
Not muted.
Yeah. My guest host was having trouble with the panel, so.
We still hear you.
He just backed that golf cart right over you.
Don't mute him. Let him dig his own grave. Let's see if he talks shit about any of us.
Whatever.
Just backed that golf cart right
Next
over
time-
you.
Whatever.
Next time you say at least he knows that he's got his job secured for next week. That's fine. I think he done this on purpose, not pulled all the stops out and said, like, let's put a couple of flaws in so he falls flat on his face, and then I can do the call next week. But that's fine, right? I won't rain on his parade.
Yeah,
I won't
he
do that.
looks like he's having a rough day in the office right now.
Yeah.
Fucking super spreader, he's back. Aaron, congrats, Aaron, by the way, on
Thank you.
Yes.
Raining on the parade. So what I was planning of doing.
Oh, did I fuck up? Sorry.
No, that's right. We're talking. That's fine. I had somewhere a screenshot about Aaron's news, but Aaron, please tell us for the ones that have not heard.
My bell.
I just I got a job with Circle Logistics with working with TJ Knudsen, and then but really working with Megan Reed. So she'll be who I directly work underneath of.
Just told us.
When are you starting?
I start May 17th.
What are you going to be doing?
Awesome.
Aaron, congratulations.
Thank you. I'll be doing, my position actually is senior customer account representative. So I'll just be doing client care, which is what I love to do.
And are y'all a brokerage
Perfect
or an
role.
asset? Or
Perfect.
both? I didn't know you
Perfect
were looking
role
for a
for you.
job. I would have sent you a laptop.
I wasn't. TJ contacted me.
Oh.
Yeah, but
If it sucks, holler at me.
I will.
Aaron, are you gonna go on board and hold my beer?
I don't know. I don't know. I am going to be there the 12th through the 14th. So we'll see.
I don't think you miss a single show, do you? You're normally the first one on.
I do. Well, I missed yesterday, so I completely forgot about it. It was 8 o'clock. I'm like, oh my gosh, I missed it.
I've got a lot of missing of that kind of stuff right now when you're trying to run around, do your 2.5-year-old, and then your wife's like, I'm too tired to do something. She can use this as excuse for 9 months and that's it. And after no more. So the other so I have one more, right? So let me see if I can pull one of the ones up. The bigger things, and this is where, of course, Trey was like, great, I'll pull this up. But I was going to do something about sports in the UK, but I was like, that's just going to be me and Juan talking. Right? So I was like, perhaps not. So I said to Trey, just drop a couple of in there. Like, of course, I've seen a couple, but it was a couple of big moments within the NFL, right? We had
watched it last night.
Sorry, Justin?
I said I watched most of the first round last night.
You watched it, Phil?
Yep.
So of course we had Trevor Lawrence, and of course we had, like, with the New England Jones as well, like two quite big stories, and I was like, okay. So from someone, because I watch NFL like probably like once a month, if like when certain thing, because we don't really get it here on like cable. So here it's all about like football right now. And what about major events? So one of the big things, are they allowing people back in?
Most of the stadiums are at like 25% right now. I know New York just increased the amount that they're allowing into their stadiums. Texas is allowing full stadiums. It's up to each individual state how many people they're allowing in.
I saw the USC fight on Saturday, and it was packed. And I was so happy to see that. It was just crazy. It was back to what USC is.
Down there in Doral.
Has anybody like visited like a sports event yet? Nobody
have not yet.
You're gonna cost me my.
Not yet.
Okay.
I went to the Masters.
I don't speak Spanish.
Wait. Oh,
I want to see Tyson fight again.
So we're talking about major sports events. Let's see what Trey has an offer for.
I'll have my guy call him right now.
I'll have my guy call your guy.
Rob, you're not muted.
Can we all yell at once?
Can I get quiet, please?
We need to all yell at once.
Noonan.
Shane.
Noonan.
Aaron.
Who's going to shout for?
Noonan.
Got it, boys.
Oh, the video skipped. I didn't even see him swing.
You didn't
Trey.
see
I thought it was Bubba Watson.
You didn't see him swing because there's not enough rotation in his backswing.
Oh, shut up. Just thought I'd give you guys a little treat there, you know.
I'm glad you're giving us a treat. Like, I think you sabotaged the call today, Trey. I heard you saying that.
He was talking trash.
Oh, Trey, I wasn't. I've been listening.
Can't hear you, Chris.
So Nick, how did I sabotage the call?
Sorry?
Was it how did I sabotage the call?
Yeah, it was the polls. The polls just like dropping me in the NFL, and I was like, if I don't do the NFL side, then it's me and Juan and Justin talking. Although it would have been interesting, and then the polls. But you know what? You've secured your job for another week.
Beautiful. Well, it's always good to see you guys. I got to go hit my next shot. So
yeah,
go get him.
Somebody's got a golf tray. We get it.
That's how the other half live.
That's right.
Yeah.
So in relation to I was just writing down some of the shows. Is anybody going to live event shows this year beside the F3?
Nada.
I don't think we will.
Kind of shows?
Live.
Oh, doubtful.
I don't do well with other people, especially large crowds. So
I'm with Eric on this one.
Yeah.
For
I
Link
like
Solutions.
I like people,
Yeah.
but from afar, from a distance, you know.
We're a
I like to
company that
just watch
helps
them.
U.S.-based
Take
companies
pictures of them.
establish
Hi, Nathan.
offices down in Colombia, South
Have a great
America for
weekend.
entry-level positions, IT development, sales, marketing, stuff like that.
And he's on mute.
Brian, you see mine over there?
Let him go. Let him
Yeah,
go.
it's in the out of bounds. Don't use your foot wedge, Trey.
Again, we'll just keep taking your shots.
Loving this. So is everybody still like? Remember when? And I don't know if anybody commented on the post when where I spoke about LinkedIn or linked out. So for me, it was all about like the reason why I ramped up my LinkedIn, because all of the in-person events and everything else kind of closed down. So for me, like kind of marketing wise, like I needed to be on LinkedIn. Is everybody just gonna? Is that the same for everybody else? Are you gonna continue with LinkedIn as much as you do?
Oh yeah, I have to. I mean, it's literally how 90% of my business comes through LinkedIn, through my content or me just interacting with somebody on there. So it's a vital part of my business. And I think social media is like, it's here and it's here to stay, and it's only going to progress. And like, I love it. Like, I love seeing people put out more and more content, even if it's, whether I agree with what people put out there or not is irrelevant. It's the fact that they're doing it because if somebody can find benefit from their content and they can apply it to their daily life and use it, that's what it's all about for me. I give two shits less if I get 5 likes or 5,000 likes on this stuff. I just want, it's the messages that I get from the people who are saying I've applied
86 plane 91 uphill plus a little in the
That's what I love. That's the only part of it that I love. Everything else is like, it's a great tool to utilize.
It's LinkedIn's the only one that I use. I don't use any other platforms, and it's professionally for professional purpose. And I've explained that to my boss. Like, she encourages me to do it my way, and I'm not held to any, obviously I'm respectful of Global Trans, but I do my own thing with my own intention from the heart that creates these different opportunities that don't necessarily bring in money to the company, but it starts conversations and gives some recognition to things that we kind of don't talk about in the workplace. So that's
indirect, isn't it? Because like, for example, you never know, like something that happens like that, and then someone sees what you're talking about, and it's an indirect approach. And I think does anybody, because like one of the other things is, for me, LinkedIn is the best platform. A lot of people say that logistics is amazing on Facebook, although I don't know. Like, I've been trying, but it's not the same because it's linked to my personal account, and you get some cat videos, and all of a sudden something for logistics. So
you don't like those?
And those troll forums are very toxic.
I think it really depends on the type of business that you're doing, though. So like for LinkedIn, for example, it is a good place for like professionals and, obviously like logistics folks and transportation folks, and not just that, like any like
all industries.
All industries. But for us, for our small handmade business, Facebook is where we get all that from.
Wow.
So it's very.
What about Instagram, Diana?
Instagram, we don't do much on there. We should, but because it's owned by Facebook, so, and I know there's a bigger reach on Instagram.
That's the chat. Like, so I'm working now on Instagram to build up a presence on there as well as LinkedIn, because I wanted to do one at a time, because it's just me. I don't have the resources to pay somebody to do this for me. So I figured, I feel like I got a solid start on LinkedIn, And now I'm trying to apply and see what works on Instagram as well to kind of grow that reach as well. Cause there's a big segment of the population. And cause like my goal with my podcast is for like the blue collar industry as a whole. I want to expand out into other reaches, and I got to find where they all sit. I have a really tough time with Facebook because there's not a lot of, I don't know how to put this politely, open-mindedness. It's usually fuck brokers, fuck drivers.
Yeah.
There's no, that's against what I'm trying to do. So I really don't engage.
So toxic. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think I'm going to try the Instagram angle with it. And I don't know. I just think it's a phenomenal tool to utilize where you can reach some, like, and to me, it's free, you know, like I schedule it in my time for my posts, my content and everything else. So I know that I get it done every day. I just think that it's really tough to follow along with some of the content that comes out there because you can tell it's self-serving, but I also know that those people will work themselves out essentially.
Yeah.
And I like following the people that are providing value to the industry as a whole and others. Like, hey, they're putting like, you know, if you're putting a sales video out there of, hey, here's how I would handle this situation, you know, and if that adds the value to people, phenomenal. That's what it's got to be about.
Chris,
Right. I agree with you.
Chris, I've heard that people in their starting their own businesses or what have you, I don't use it, but Twitter apparently somehow you can hook up your content so you can make an announcement, and people tend to check their Twitter. Those people engage in Twitter more than other. I don't use that, but they hook it all together. So you just put, like, say through this Hootsuite app or something like that, you hook your LinkedIn account with your Twitter account, with your Instagram account. That way you're just putting out one post. And that's it goes everywhere, and it just kind of helps again get your message out, and it's free. So just throwing it out there. I haven't used it, but
there's I forget what it is, but it ties it's a link you pay. It's like cheats. It's only like $5 a month, and it links all your social. Okay,
this one's free. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
Whenever you post on LinkedIn, it gives you when you pick your audience, it'll ask you if you want to post to Twitter also.
And on Facebook as well.
Facebook, or ask if you want to do it with Instagram or to Twitter. I have mine connected and it works. Like what you were talking about with LinkedIn for us, for Valor, it just gave us a sense of like legitimacy. And we get people all the time that are calling us, but then they can't use us because we've only been around for a year. And they're like, oh, well,
take care.
But it feels to them like, man, I thought you guys have been around forever. And we're like, been around for just over a year, really. But because they've seen it, and they may not engage with the posts that we make, but they see it. And now we're a memory in their brain. So whenever we contact them, they're like, oh, yeah, I know you guys. And there's only two of us.
Have you seen,
we're small.
the new on LinkedIn before? I know, guys, we're just running slightly over, but do you know before we all gonna shoot off, did you see LinkedIn announced new algorithms and stuff?
Yeah, I saw that, and it seems like it's mostly based. They don't want to drive traffic away from LinkedIn. Even in the comments, even posting anything that has an external link, it drives down the value of it. And it's I don't know, like algorithms are going to change. Essentially, they want to keep it, from what, like, my opinion on the research that I did is they want to keep it business to business related on LinkedIn. They want to eliminate the political posts. They want to eliminate the controversial stuff out there. So they're going to devalue it, and they want to put it more towards, they want to keep it business. And then, like, from a content creator standpoint, if you're a business and you're trying to build a brand, it'll help you add value that way, as opposed to having that get buried because you got 75 political posts on your feed and people are like, fuck this, and click off.
Thank you, ladies.
So
it's because they're announced that they're most likely going to do their own audio only.
Yep.
As well. Of course, everybody's going to do that, right? So that's one of the one things, and the other one is creator mode. I don't know yet what it exactly means.
So from what I saw on creator mode, it's a way for you to where if people want to follow you, it's just going to give you an option to add the follow only button. So they don't have to connect. So they don't have to see a bunch of other shit if they just want to follow your post. Because like the algorithm was baked in to where it's like, if you had a bunch of hashtags on there, it would drive traffic of those hashtags, but those people might not want to see it. They just want to see your content. So there's a way for you to just follow that individual now, as opposed to going through and connecting with them, because I get a lot of those. I mean, I'm sure you guys all do too. Those bot connections where it's clearly not a person. Now there's a way for you to do that to where they have to be an actual person to follow you, as opposed to reaching out to connect.
I'm about the same. Guys, it's I done my full hour, right? So I would like to thank everybody for like helping me out this week. Next week we'll do another one. Where in the world is Chris Jolly with Robert? We'll do that.
No, this time it didn't apply. He just came in by himself.
Exactly. Like we didn't need to do it this week.
I just want to say I missed you all so much.
Where in the world is Trey Griggs?
So glad to have you back. Sweet.
Hey, I love it.
No, I really appreciate everybody on this call. I always look forward every week and what Trey's been doing. So thanks for letting me do this week, Trey. If you can hear this, but.
No, Rob's showing his shirt, so I'm pointing to my.
Oh, you doing that? I was like, I
had to put you on mute because I had a fire going on, but I wanted to give a shout out to Mr. Eric Serta and Valor for creating these
nice,
awesome
shirts.
Eric, I have something in the works for you coming here soon.
Hey, you guys, just so you guys know, not me. It's a plug, but I also do logos. I can draw the logo. I can make the logo. I mean, I'll do everything now. So. If you need it done, let me know.
Eric, I'm going to be in touch because
I already made you one. Hey, no, I never even seen you wear it, brother.
What, the shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to know why? Because my fiance took it. She's like, "Oh, this shirt's nice," and then she fucking wears it. Yeah, I haven't had a chance. I'm not gonna, to not open up that hornet's nest.
Yeah. My bad.
Wears it.
That's funny.
Okay, guys. Well, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, for inviting
amazing weekend.
The invitation.
Yes.
We'll see everybody.